nothing but a mistake. Tell me why I never wanna hear you say I want it that way. What is this?
The devil in disguise.
What's up, guys?
You are the devil in disguise.
The fuck's that, dude? Welcome back, guys, to Warzone. I'm coming back at it again, bro. Season 1, battle tokens. I don't know what the fuck any of this means, but we're here. Okay. I guess that's mine, right? Unclaimed. That's chance to buy. Yeah, no, I'm good on that. I'm good on that shit, bro. I fucking grind and hustle for my shit, dog. I don't need no motherfucking handouts. I don't need to buy my way, okay? Hey guys, if you think I'm a good player, follow, sub, like, whatever. You guys are watching me right now. Shout out. I know my room's kind of a mess. Whatever, dude. We're playing video games, bro. For a good time right now. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday. Okay, so I'm fucking chilling. You know what I mean? What do you think? Okay. This would be cool, but I don't really need any of the shit. I don't really think it affects the gameplay, so I'm good. Alright. Woo! Okay, so alright, let's people whatever. We gonna do what it do. Yo, remember to like, follow, and subscribe. We gonna get lit up in this bitch. Your girl's cheating? What? Girl's cheating? Look, nobody got time for that shit, bruh. Okay, we got a war to win. Okay? Nobody got time for no little fucking games out here, man. Show up to the war zone. You know what I mean? Nope. Alright. Be there or be squared. So anyway, you know, I haven't downloaded the zombies experience. So let's go. I played zombies in a minute, bro. That used to be my favorite game mode. You know what? It is my favorite game mode. This shit. By the way, guys, hope you guys are doing okay. And yeah, hope y'all are being positive out there. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't a hater. Stop being a hater, man. Just playing. Okay, look. This is going really slow. I don't know what to say, bro. I'm just gonna keep trying to play. Yo, what's going on with this, bro? That's okay, but like, where's the multiplayer, bro? What in the world, dude? I'm trying to play freaking, bro. What's going on, dude? Why is there only Resurgence? What the fuck is Warzone? DMZ? The fuck is that? Thunder? Wait. Did they? Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me, dog. Did what the fuck? So I downloaded this shit. Damn it! I'm gonna have to delete another game. Damn it. Okay, Battlefield. I'm sorry. No, I like Battlefield. Okay, Grand Theft Auto. Ugh, god damn it. Some bullshit. Sorry, guys. So I hope you guys are doing all right. Shout out to where you live. You know what I'm saying? If you're not in the United States, let me know. And if you got a place to stay where I can go stay, let me know. As long as it's not in the United States. Whatever. I'm just playing. Not really. So, I guess the only thing that I can, I think the only thing I can play is DMZ, which I don't even know what that is. So, I mean, whatever, guys. Let's just fucking. I'm good because I'm a player, I'm a gamer. So, I mean, play anything really. I don't know what. It's taking too long, bro. This is Modern Warfare 2. Come on, bro. Dude, what? I don't know what the fuck is going on with this shit, dude. You're fucking kidding me, dude. Let's just play Resurgence. Anyway. It's taking too long. I've never played this game. Never played this game mode. Oh, I don't even know what the... This game looks really fucking stupid. Oh man. Bro, what the fuck is going on, man? It's... Fuck the police, man. Guys, are you guys cool with police? Like, do y'all like the police or something? Man, shit. Fuck the police, man. Okay. Ironically enough. Yo, somebody tell me what this is.
Explore, secure intel, and loot to gain access to new missions. Enemy threat is high, so expect contact.
What is this shit? Is this zombies? Fuck, dude. What are we supposed to be doing, bro?
Marking extraction zone.
Isn't that where we're supposed to be going?
1, enemy threat appears low in this area.
I got this ammo. Okay, that's it. Like, how much did they kill? Bruh, what the fuck is this? Man, fuck this game. I don't like that shit though. Let me just fucking play Warzone. Okay. Yeah, fuck this game, bro. I don't like this game. Oh my goodness. What the fuck, Call of Duty? Call of Duty shit is getting on my nerves, bro. Stupid motherfuckers. Shut up. God damn it. Great. No, my miss. So racist. Fuck it, let's play this. Damn, bro. It took me forever to get back to the shit. Man, we about to win this shit, bro. The hell is wrong with this shit now? So there's a theory, right? So apparently, right, guys, I don't know if you might not know this, but you know, it's funny how people don't believe in God, right? But it's funny how people don't want people to believe in God because they think that science somehow is better, you know? Which is really ironic, right? Because look, I'm saying that because if you haven't noticed, right, in the last 10 or 20, 15 years, 20 years maybe, they have really started going against God and, you know, taking it out of classrooms and stuff. And as you have seen, it has, you know, I personally believe that that everybody's crazier now than they were before. Violence in schools, people are always crazy, but I just believe that people now are openly crazy and they're politically correct, so they think that because they're politically correct that cancels out the fact that they're evil. And or at the best, you know, bad people, like, you know, women. So I started thinking about this, right? I was like, you know, why do people not want people to learn about God? You know, what is the reason? You know, think about this. In your schools, they took out you being able to read, know about God. They stopped teaching God, or they stopped even mentioning God all over. But then they tried to introduce, in some states, gay people, LGBTQ shit to your child. Why would they want your kid to become gay, but not know about God? You know what I mean? You know, what's the point of that? It's a conspiracy. It's because they want your kids to become future slaves for them. You know what I mean? And so they have to go and get in between the parents and the kids, so they can indoctrinate them and raise them as their own slaves that they want. So, you know, I realized that they got like all you kids indoctrinated. I mean, shit. And so the reason that I know that they got you indoctrinated is because they don't want you to learn about God. Whereas when I was younger, I used to be like, why doesn't anybody speak about God? And I was trying to look for God. I was like, because I grew up, my parents I grew up, listening to God, God's word and the Bible. So I was wondering, like, it was a culture shock for me to realize that people don't believe in God. Like, this is God's country. This is supposedly, it's supposed to be the greatest nation in the world. You know what I mean? This is supposed to be, you're supposed to be obedient to God. You are like the most privileged or the toppest human beings on the planet. And you're telling me you don't believe in God? You don't think God had something to do with this? You know what I mean? It's like a culture shock to me to believe that you actually believe that. So are you telling me that you conquered everybody because you just felt you were better than them? You know what I mean? Like, that's why you bombed other countries and spread the light and democracy because of God and country and freedom and stuff? Or what are you trying to say? That you're a superhuman and that it's all this type of things, right? So I started thinking about it, right? So it's a culture shock to come out and realize that I live in a secular society, not a Christian community, not people don't believe in God. And so they took God out of your schools and they they kept Planned Parenthood, eugenics, supremacists. And everybody everybody likes to, and now they're introducing gay people, woke mobs, and all this other nonsense, political shit, So it's really quite annoying because look, the same people. Look, this is what I gotta say about these fucking stupid idiots that believe in woke and Black Lives Matter shit. You killed your own people. I mean, you sold out your own communities, and you continually kill your own people, and you aborted your own babies, and you destroyed your own families. Okay, and you gave your money to the slave masters. So don't be fucking pointing fingers at nobody. I mean, and so, like, that being said, same thing with feminists, right? They said that they don't want men to control them. They get their whole menstrual cycle controlled by little blue pills that they purchase from slave masters that used to dissect and do human experiments like lab rats in order to get the formula just right for them. So fuck them too. I mean, and so I was saying this stuff, right? Like, no matter what you say, about racists and who's bad and who's good, you helped the white man enslave your own race. You know what I mean? And you kept your own people down. You killed your own babies, and you lowered your own men's self-esteem, and you degraded and dehumanized your own males counterparts. If you're a feminist and you support the last, bitches have been aborting their babies for the last 10 years. And before, you would never hear that it's okay for a girl to be sleeping with 100 guys. Now they're proud of this shit. Like, if it's normal, that's another fucking, brain. That's not normal. You need professional help. I mean, y'all need professional help. Y'all don't know what the fuck your life has been about for the last couple fucking decades. You don't know who the fuck you were fucking with. Like, you don't know what the fuck is going on. I mean, you thought that the guy that was sleeping with you was in love with you or something. You know what I mean? Like, if you weren't just treated like a prostitute, and you think that's normal. I mean, it's sexually exploiting people all over the world, right? Women specifically, and children specifically. But because you're a woman, you chose to go down that route. You think that's normal to be a sex slave, to be treated like a prostitute? There's something seriously wrong with you. You need professional help. And but what's even more fucked up is that you expect men not to have a problem with that, and you think that's like that men shouldn't judge you for that. You bitch, you got nothing coming, bro. You fucking hoes are something else, bro. Y'all are something else. You fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? But you need professional help. You don't need to be dating nobody. You need a motherfucking psychologist, a therapist and shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, like these fucking hoes, like, 10 years ago, if I'm not talking about, people that come from poverty or black women, but I'm talking about people who had no excuse to have their parents, and that know that the majority ruled. Back in the day, people, if you were a whore, you would be shamed for being a whore, because we know that somebody fucked up. You know what I mean? Either your parents fucked up and you were exposed and abused early, or you fucked around and you fucked with a guy who was abusive and he was just playing with you and then he left you, or you yourself, right, are just a reprobate and you're just a perverted, sexual liar, depraved individual. But somebody fucked up, right? It's it's a sign of irresponsibility and negligence and abuse, and yet you try to tell me that that's normal. You know what I mean? Because it's so sad that you tried to. You're not telling me. You're not trying to tell me. You're not trying to convince me or any other sane guy out here, because we don't play that shit. The only people you're trying to convince are people that are willing to listen to you, and of course children. You're trying to get children to think it's normal, because you want to bring as many people as down with you as you can, down to your level. It's so fucking sad. That's why I'm saying that, they took out Christians from the schools. They took out that, and then they try to inject gay people and feminists and all that bullshit. Ridiculous. I mean, these bitches were fucking around for 10 years with feminism specifically since 2013, and they pale in comparison to actual civil rights activists from 1960s and stuff. By the way, which feminists you want to hear about civil rights? You think that feminists were on the same side as black people? They weren't. You know what I mean? White women were trying to get their own suffrage. They also thought they were better than black people. You know what I mean? So just a reminder that feminist literally does not mean equality for everybody. It literally means their own fucking struggle for their own type of shit. They feel entitled for shit too. I mean, just so you know, because a lot of people think that they're on the same side nowadays. Like you wanna, like, the devil wants to get all of you stupid fuckers together. You know what I mean? So you got liberals, you got woke mobs, you got feminists in there with them, you got gay people in there with them. You got them all together on the fringes of society. They're all a bunch of friends and shit, bunch of dumb motherfuckers. So what you get is a gay motherfucking woke a black crackhead. You know what I mean? That's what the fuck you get around these motherfucking shit. You know what I mean? The most oppressive, like, desensitized and desensitized with their own identity type of people that exist. You know what I mean? Are those motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And yet y'all motherfuckers, those are the type of men that Democrats want to churn out. That's the type of men they want to churn out in this country. Like George Floyd, you got this old black crackhead motherfucker that didn't want to listen to the cops and shit, that got caught up in a situation he could have avoided. You know what I mean? But he could have avoided it. He didn't have to stay in front of that fucking shit in the car. You know what I mean? He could have drove the fuck off, and making a transaction, whatever the fuck he was doing, looking sketch, being hot. You know what I mean? He could have kept it moving, but he didn't. You know what I mean? And when they killed him, that's the Democrats' wet dream. You know what I mean? When he died, that's their wet dream. They're like, oh, look at this. Now we can go, because that's their motherfucker. That's their guy. George Floyd's and all your George Floyd's of the world, Democrats. That's what they want. That's the type of people they want. Crackheads. You know what I mean? And homeless, crackheads, ex-felons that are oppressed and have the victim mentality. And I'm not saying that they weren't framed or some shit, maybe when they were younger. I'm not saying they don't go through shit, but this is what Democrats want you to be like. You know what I mean? They want you to be dependent on them. They want you to be fucked up in the game. You know what I mean? And that's what they want. So you know what I mean? So you can vote for them all the time. So they can try to do something about it, and they never do shit. You know what I mean? So it was their wet dream, and they used it to their advantage, and then, all that woke mob bullshit. Disgusting. But anyway, so I was trying to talk about how, like, YouTube, Twitch, everybody else, they all help that agenda. They all help push feminism. They help sexually exploit women. And of course, Twitch, you know who you are. You YouTube people, Facebook, Instagram, all you motherfuckers. Y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all know y'all don't believe in God. And y'all know that y'all are lying to the people. And y'all are trying to suppress certain people's opinion. And just look at how the Democrats operate, when Trump won. Not that Trump is a nice guy. I don't give a fuck about Trump. But look how they treated him. That's the thing. Where they when they got desperate. Look at their arsenal. What they did. They used the media. They used social media. They used George Floyd. They used smear tactic campaigns, propaganda, all the shit that they used. Cancel culture, Me Too movements, feminism. You know what I mean? All this shit to drag out shit from the past to the light. Why couldn't they do any of that shit before he was inducted president? Right? Well, how come they found all that shit before? Because they never chose to look into that motherfucker. Because they didn't really give a shit. They didn't really give a fuck until it got into their crosshairs, until it became their problem, and then they decided to go look into this motherfucker. Right? The point is, right, that motherfucker was friends with Jeffrey Epstein too. You know what I mean? And nobody, these people don't give a shit because they only worry about their own business. You know what I mean? About themselves. And their jobs were never in jeopardy, and they were never not when their jobs got in jeopardy because Trump said he wanted to drain the swamp. What they do? Yeah, they mobilized and they motherfucking went after him and they tried to get him for everything they had. When their jobs were in actually their lives were in danger. You know what I mean? And so that's what they did. But like I said, it's not about Trump. It's about how they like to hide behind the media and all this shit. You know what I mean? And how they use tactics to brainwash the population. And so I'm not that stupid, right? So anyway, like I was saying, YouTube flagged some of my comments. I don't know what they did. They deleted it. You know what I mean? And they just fucking deleted it in real time. You know why? Because I said I was commenting on a video that said, should religion be taught in schools? And Neil deGrasse Tyson was saying that it shouldn't because people are. He said if people believe in the Bible, they're not going to be able to think scientifically. I mean, I'm like, dude, you're an astrophysicist. Well, guess what? What Jesus told, what Moses and told his people in the beginning was to create a calendar, motherfucker. And you know what they used? The lunar cycle. You dumb bitch. So what is that? Astrology, right? You stupid idiot. You know what I mean? So of course, where the fuck you think they got the calendar from, my guy? Are you fucking retarded? You know what I mean? Never did he say something like, that you shouldn't study the real world. Are you fucking mentally retarded? These fucking people, they lie, bro. They think that because you believe in God, that you don't believe in science or something. When most scientists do believe in God. I mean, they got it backwards, but they lied to the public because people like Neil deGrasse Tyson, they got an agenda. I mean, and he can't disprove the theory. He can't disprove God. You know what I mean? But we can disprove. He can't prove evolution. You know what I mean? He can't. Those are theories at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And there's so many things that he said that are theories, like the Big Bang. Again, another theory. He doesn't know either. You know what I mean? He was. You know what I'm saying? So there's things that he cannot even fucking explain, nor can the science community. And half the shit they say in 200 gets disproven. You know what I mean? After centuries, like Darwinism. You know what I mean? That's disproven, right? Which is that certain people carry certain personality traits, such as being a good person, through genetics. Which means that if you're a good person, then you're gonna have good kids, and that people are good because their parents were good, because the people before them were good, because the people before them were good. So automatically they'll judge people if they're bad, and you mix that with the theory of evolution and bullshit, and you got these people are good inherently, and these other people are evil. You know what I mean? And that they got to kill those evil people. And now they can justify war, genocide, murder, racism, supremacy, whatever the fuck, because they just said that the other people are evil. You know what I mean? So a lot of people like to talk about how, Christians killed a lot of people or something. The Crusades. Well, those were, okay, you want to talk about the Crusades? That's what you want to say, right? That it led to slavery. Okay, actually, you're not wrong, but the people that were saying those things weren't real Christians. It was the Catholic Church. It was the Catholic Church and a bunch of explorers and kings and queens that were looking for silver and gold and diamonds and rubies, right? That were doing conquest and expansion, okay? That's what the fuck they were. A bunch of hired, explorers that were there to conquer and enslave people, doing it under the guise of a crusade. You know what I mean? That was supposedly a crusade. It was really just a conflict and colonialism. know what I mean? But since they put it under the guise of a crusade, they say that they were spreading the light to the infidels, which justified them killing them. And it's also the reason why they say that Christopher Columbus discovered America, because he was the first supposedly Christian to discover it. But the Hebrew tribes were already here. You know, the Israelite tribes were already here. You know what I mean? And other people were already here. So he's full of shit. You know what I mean? But the point is that people lied and they were devilish. The Vatican sold out seats in the cardinal seats, but that's a whole other story. That comes from Martin Luther, Protestantism, and all this stuff. Those are materialistic European, Anglo-Saxon, white nations of Europe that, you know, decided to disembark on their own journey of Christianity, and that's when they painted Jesus white. They mixed paganism with Christianity, because Jesus was like Yahusha. He did live. He was a real person, but and there was a real religion after him, and of course, you know, it was in Rome and it was in other places, and they mixed it with paganism and all this stuff. And the 1400s, like 1,000 years that afterwards, or like 1,400 years afterwards, or 1,300, they decided to go off on their own, right? So and that led to white people. Why do you think there's a white class? And it goes all spans back all the way to Europe. Why do you think there's bankers? Why do you think there's all these people? Because they broke off from the church and they started doing their own thing. And they said, Protestantism said that they can go to heaven without helping the poor, without having to help anybody else, and that they didn't have to feel guilty because their sins are pardoned by the church. I mean, for all the colonialism and owning slaves and killing people and stuff. I mean, so that's why they are who they are, but they're wrong. I mean, they went after their own heart's desires, and they said that it was God leading them, but it wasn't God. It was their own. It was their own desires. So, you know, but don't think it's just white people that did this. You know, a lot of people did this. Asians did this too. A lot of people. But here it's relevant because, you know, they painted Jesus white, and then they said that he was the sun god. Now they mixed him up with the paganism of the sun god. You know what I mean? Because really they worship the sun. You see, the real Hebrews were supposed to get their calendar from the luna, from the moon, the lunar cycles. So they actually, you know, there's two different deities. Whereas the Europeans did it solar, the solar cycle. And based on that, and so them, you know, King James and them, they did that for hundreds of years, right? At the end of it, they had extra days because it wasn't accurate. So, you know, so they had to actually get rid of 7 days altogether. They had to get rid of 10 days. They had extra. They just, so in their calendar, they said, well, you know what? One day it's June 14th. You know what? Or June the 4th. Next day, June the 14th. And we're just gonna make up for all those days, that extra leap years and shit. I mean, that's what they did because they didn't know, because they wanted to keep that shit too. I mean, and so, you know, it's all a bunch of bullshit. I mean, so when you want to talk about stuff, you know, come at me correct. You know what I mean? First of all, but you see, they don't want you to learn about God at all, so they just stop you from even learning anything. You know what I mean? About it. And so, you know, really you have to go out there and find that information yourself. Which is because fuck school, dog. I'm gonna be 100% with you. You know, school was nothing but an indoctrination camp for me, dog. You know, the fact is that you live in a day and time where you have the internet and you can actually look up everything, which is awesome. You know what I mean, and I always appreciated that. But like I said, yeah. So if you're watching this right now, you're listening. This is dope, by the way. You're listening to some real shit right now. You know. That probably will help you in life, because like the thing is, they don't want to tell you the truth. That's where I draw the line, because they actually want to lie to you, and they want you to not know about God at all. You know what I mean? And that's like, you know, that's why you don't know the world. That's like they want to cover your face so you never ask questions. You know, when I was younger, I used to say, I ask questions about how things work. Why, like who invented what? Why is this, that? You know what I mean? And they don't want you to ask questions. That's the problem. They don't want you to be intuitive. They want you to accept their shit sandwich and to eat it and to say, that's good. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to believe your ass when you say that that shit sandwich tastes good. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm doing this to try to see. The reason I'm saying this is because I want to see if they kick me off of this shit too, because they already tried to kick me. Oh no, is this? Oh shit! Oh damn it! I don't have this. I like this map, bro. I'm gonna download this shit. So anyway, you know, there's a lot to learn, you know, but what I just told you is like a year or two of research. You know what I mean? Anyway, so basically, you know, I put a comment on there that said that religion is science is a religion, and that Mike Tyson, I mean, whatever Neil deGrasse Tyson doesn't know what he's talking about. Fuck that guy. I used to like Neil deGrasse Tyson. I watched Star Talk. I listened to Star Talk. I liked Neil deGrasse Tyson a couple years ago. Bill Nye the Science Guy as well. And he was one of the first, like, you know what I mean, and on podcasts, on Spotify, I would watch. I mean, since he came out with it. I've seen his videos. I fucking know. I've seen Gaia or whatever the fucking go through the cosmos and shit with Neil deGrasse Tyson and shit. I already watched those documentaries, you know, a long time ago. But I'm not gonna fucking say that he's fucking right. You know what I mean? Because okay. So again, the theory of evolution, the theory of the Big Bang, these are theories. You know what I mean? These aren't motherfucking real things that they can fucking tell me. So you want to call me an animal that doesn't have a fucking soul and whatever, and you want me to believe in some higher power just creating something out of nothing, right? That's what you want to do. It's like look, there's this guy scientist, right? He had a PhD. He found out that in the Bible, that was written by different authors throughout the span of thousands of years, like maybe 6,000 years. I mean, maybe more. You know what I mean? That they had references, cross references from different authors throughout thousands of years that coincided with the same type of it had coincidences, you know, references to one another. You know what I mean? And the same thing. And they found out that these references, that there was a total of like, I don't know, like 66 references, 1,000 references or something. They found out that the odds of there being that much references to one to another, that it was astronomical. It was an astronomical number. He figured out that he made a projection and said, and I don't know how he did this because of course he's like a genius. He said that he had a group of class of people. He created a lab. He said the odds of that happening, he wanted to compare it. What were the odds of that? And it was like 1 in 200. No, 1 in 200, 1 to the 200th power, some shit like that. And then he said that the odds of him dying because of a reversal of the second law of thermodynamics or some shit, destroying the whole planet and the entire universe. He made a predicting of what are the numbers of that possibility actually happening, and it was like, you know, eventually he found out it was less. It was more of a probability, right, that we would all die because of the reversal of thermodynamics of the second law, right, or the first law of thermodynamics or the second law of thermodynamics, whatever, of the whole universe being destroyed, right, our fabric of space and time and everything devolving into chaos and being utterly destroyed, then it was supposed to be possible for authors to have that much fucking references in the Bible. You know what I mean? He figured out for to be that much, there's too many coincidences, too much of the same thing. It was literally more plausible for him to think that it's more possible for him to die, for the whole universe to explode because of thermodynamics, than it is for a book to have that much, to be saying that much things together. So, like, the point is that he said that it would take more faith to believe in a Big Bang than it would to believe in God. And that's why you have to try really hard to be so fucking stupid. You know what I mean? You have to try really hard to be a whore. You have to try really hard to be gay. You have to try really hard to be a victim mentality, to be upset that much. You have to try really fucking hard to be that fucking stupid. You know what I mean? You have to do it day in and day out. Tell yourself some shit. You know what I mean? Because y'all motherfuckers are some dumbass motherfuckers. And so, you know, so I would tell the other guys, I said, no, I commented to it and I said, you know what I mean? Well, first of all, science is a religion. And then it's called Scientology, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Shit, stupid fuck. And it's also a philosophy. And so, you know, because it's a theory. So if you think into Darwinism, it's a philosophy. Charles Darwin, it was a philosophy he wrote. You know what I mean? He made his own assumptions and he created his own explanations. You know, it was a theory that he put together because of the way that he thought of the world. You know what I mean? And the way that white motherfucking nihilistic motherfuckers think of the world. They're having an existential crisis and shit. You know what I mean? So trying to explain something because their fucking minds don't know the truth. So, you know, that's what they tried. That's what he did. You know what I mean? And then that's a theory. At the end of the day, it's a fucking theory. And so, you know, but you see how much shit came from that theory. You know what I mean? Racism, supremacy, Planned Parenthood, bitches becoming hoes, slavery, genocide, sex trafficking. You know what I mean? Dropping bombs on kids and shit, war. You know what I mean? The white class, right? Poverty, you know what I mean? Systemic racism, systemic fucking all that shit. I mean, all that bullshit. Because of Darwinism. I mean, because of social Darwinism and shit. Off of a theory that we are not equal. And guess what? The creators, the founders, or rather, of this country of ours, didn't even believe in that. They believed that every man was created equal. Right? They believed in equality for everybody. We're all created equal. We all come from a woman. Right? We're all created the same way. That means that a millionaire, billionaire, gazillionaire like fucking Trump is no different than me, motherfucker. And that I can become that rich. You see what I'm saying? If I want to. If I do what he did, I can do the same shit. You know what I mean? But y'all don't even look at it like that because y'all don't have no faith. Because y'all look at people like a bunch of animals and shit. You know what I mean? And so, you know what I mean? So, again, you're being held back by your own, you know, disbelief. These are what they call glass ceilings. And the reason I got a problem with it is because they told this shit to us, black and brown people. You know what I mean? They taught that shit to us for centuries. So you know I got beef with these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And you bitches, or rather people, some people just want to be submitting to them. I don't submit to these motherfuckers because I know that they were evil and that they betrayed the word of their own God. You know what I mean? So yeah. And so again, I said that you know, science is a religion. That's number one. So in the philosophy, I had like 5 people comment me back talking about something. You're wrong. You know what I mean? No, science is a way to explain and observe the world, the universe. I'm like, I said that. I created what you just said right there. I fucking told you that. You know what I mean? And it's like they said like, no, it's not. Where do you get this from? Or that's a false statement. And like all this bullshit. I'm like, so motherfuckers, Scientology is a thing. You know what I mean? Just so you fucking know, right? Maybe you should go fucking join that cult, you weirdos. And then you know what I mean? Second of all, it was shit like that, like I just explained with Charles Darwin. That shit was a philosophy that he fucking put, and he tried to say it was science by comparing us to fucking animals. Okay, so fuck you. That's racism, and that is a philosophy that some motherfuckers harbor. Okay, so you know what I mean? That's what the hell it was. You know what I mean? So don't tell me that shit is all facts. Okay, and but they shove it down your throats like if it's fucking like if it's a real religion, like if it's truth, right? And again, they were there, motherfucker, in the Big Bang. You know, and here is a truth that they say that people have said this, and this is esoteric knowledge, wisdom passed down from civilization to civilization throughout all of humanity, and it's just the truth that the creation of the universe is said to be forever a mystery. You know what I mean? Because nobody can really prove it. Even if you met aliens, they probably, that makes me think, oh, shit, if you met like an angel or alien or an angel or something, whatever you want to call it, you know, that they might not even know the creation of the universe because it's always meant to be a mystery. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I mean, how are you going to think that us on this little blue planet that evolved from a bunch of animals and shit that just how happened to fucking evolutionize, you know what I mean? Especially in the last 100 years, we went from black and white televisions to having satellites from, you know, teleconferencing from with people in space, you know what I mean? And shit and all this crap, right? We went from fucking the Ford automobile to rocket ships that we can fly everywhere, like to Mars, or a car in Mars, or, you know, a rover. I mean, so okay, in 100 years, and 100 years, you know what I mean? So, yeah, okay, you want to say that, yeah, we're a bunch of animals and shit, and that we did that, right? You know what I mean? And you want to talk about, why couldn't we do that earlier? Well, what the fuck were people doing the last, I don't know, 100,000 years, you say, that we've been here? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you think there was no divine intervention? Evolution? Are you saying we evolutionized that quickly? Then why the fuck were these people so sad about being nihilistic and shit? I mean, the point is that I'm trying to make is that y'all think aliens built the pyramids, right? Y'all, they got you thinking aliens built the pyramids. Y'all don't even give credit to your own people, bruh. Look, okay. The point that I'm trying to make is it's just a fucked up, you know, it's obviously not the right way to look at the world. You know what I mean? What they're telling you is fucking lies. You know what I mean? That's that, because if it was the truth, then you would fucking know that it's, you know, you wouldn't feel that aliens made the pyramids. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be that fucking stupid. You know what I mean? And you wouldn't treat people like they're fucking animals. Right? So, it's so fucking dumb. You know what I mean? It's just something used to distract you and control you. So, so yeah, you know, like, yeah, y'all on some other shit, bro. And so what Tyson was trying to say was that that if people that believe in God can't believe in science, and that if people were taught Christianity in schools or taught about God in schools, then they wouldn't be able to think logically and rationally, and they wouldn't have no scientific fucking formulation, like they wouldn't think scientifically. That's what he said. And I was like, that guy's so full of fucking shit. He's so full of shit. You know what I mean? He's so full of shit, you know? Like, actually, you know, the fact that you think about God gives you a way to think outside of what normally people, conventional thinking, or what people think day to day. You know what I mean? So, if people are a bunch of idiots, that's all you'd be talking about. You know what I mean? And if you believe in something outside the box that you cannot comprehend, then you're always speaking of the higher power. So how are you going to tell me you get the inspiration to think outside the box, like Einstein, like Sir Isaac Newton, like anybody that you respect, and astrologists and shit? You know what I mean? That you expect that how the fuck they get an idea to do that shit? You know? If they just think they're a bunch of animals, they're going to be fucking picking their fucking nose and their ass all day. You know what I mean? The fuck you talking about, bruh? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, these motherfuckers expected us to become all scientific and all of this through thinking we're animals? You know what I mean? Like, are you fucking retarded? You know what I mean? That shit don't make no fucking goddamn sense. And you know it don't make sense, because the shit that you say, it doesn't make sense. That we're a bunch of fucking animals that live on a planet rock and blah, 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 blah. And like, does that make you want to think about how to get off this bitch? You know what I mean? Hell no. So what the fuck? It's stupid. You know what I mean? And But yet that's what they want to. That's what he want to say. So I was like, you see, even motherfuckers that got a PhD are fucking stupid as shit. Even people like Neil deGrasse Tyson, everybody respects dumb as shit. They get paid fucking money for this shit. You know what I mean? Ben Shapiro gets paid $100,000 for a conference. Fuck that nigga. That nigga's a fucking loser. Okay? But y'all dumbass people eat it up. Yeah, that's why I keep saying, bro, I can be rich, dog. Like, I can be motherfucking rich. Because, Ben Shapiro, he said that black people, he had to retract his statements too because he's an idiot. He said that black people couldn't, that they don't have no excuse as to why they're not graduating and why they're dying, why they're killing each other, why they're getting locked up and shit. That they have just as much rights as white people. That there is no excuse as to why your community is like that. Because the motherfucker don't understand having generations of your people locked up, locked up and shit, and people dead, family members killed. People are still in gangs and drugs and violence because that's all they knew, because they were trapped in red district land into these poverty zones, into desperations where they have to fight other criminals who get put out on bail. You know what I mean? And they get free again. You know what I mean? He doesn't understand that shit. You know what I mean? And he, ironically enough, he's a fucking Jew, right? Which means that his people got killed by fucking Hitler and them, and Holocaust. And that motherfucker says, I guess he's Ashkenazi or whatever, and he says, right, that Germans are not as evil as the Nazi Germany weren't as evil as the Palestinians and Gaza right now. You know what I mean? He actually said he'd prefer Hitler and them because they were more civilized. They were more reasonable, gassing them people up on the concentration camps and killing them, working them down to the bone and then gassing them. You know what I mean? But while calling them rats and making propaganda to tell everybody they're just a bunch of animals. He said that those motherfuckers that were a little bit more intelligent, were more reasonable, that he'd prefer them in a war against than the savage of Palestinians. That motherfucker is a piece of shit. You know what I mean? And he's a piece of shit. All that shit, fuck that nigga. He says that he's fucking woke. He doesn't understand woke. He needs to go back and do another fucking pilgrimage and talk to his fucking elders or whatever the fuck his ancestors they call, and he needs to tell them that. Then he needs to tell them niggas that shit. That how he prefers fucking Hitler. See what the fuck they're gonna smack that nigga in the face. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, you're a stupid little fuck. You know what I mean? Dumb motherfuckers. That's like me saying, right, that MS-13 was not created by the U.S., right? That's like me saying that my people are evil because of MS-13. You know what I mean? When I know, wait, hold on. That's not really like that. I guess it's like saying that I'd prefer Bloods or Crips or Sureños over MS or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Actually, that's not really right. Yeah, something like that. You know what I mean? Because the U.S. is the one that fucking made Salvadorians kill one another during the Civil War. They paid $1 million a day and bought them bullets and bought them guns and trained them. You know what I mean? Here, and sent them back over there to fucking kill and look for guerrillas. You know what I mean? And then after the war, those people were refugees, and some of them were asylum seekers. They had every right to come over here because the U.S. fucking is the one that sponsored the fucking shit. Politicians. And made them, and told them to kill. Said paramilitary death squads to murder dissenters. You know what I mean? Such as the Archbishop of the church, other Jesuit, innocent religious people, massacring poor people that didn't have shit, that lived on the lands and shit, natives, and killing women, children, and all that shit, and raping them for information, torturing them. That's what the U.S. ordered them to do. You know what I mean? In order to handle the situation. I mean? And so that's what they did. They massacred people by by the tens and thousands. I mean, and so yeah, right. And so and then after that war turn, they brought the people over here. And then they put them in the middle of East LA with all these fucking niggas and these fucking Mexicans. No offense if you're watching my stream, I'm not a racist, but you know the blacks, Bloods, Crips, Sureños, Mexican mafia, and all that shit. You know what I mean? And when they started killing each other, they started targeting like how they target. You know, y'all target immigrants now, y'all target migrants now. Y'all started targeting them without knowing their backstory. But these were people who had the right to be here because of your government. You know what I mean? And they started fucking going after them, harassing them, killing them. And when they killed them and stuff, they realized they had to band together because Mexicans banded together, blacks were bounded together. So they were like, you know, how are we gonna, you know, we gotta team up as well. And so that's where they created their own gang, which then they call La Mara, which means the people or the gang, Salvatrucha, which is Salvadorian. The Salvadorian gang is what they're called. You know what I mean? It's literally called the Salvadorian gang. Why? Because it's good, like, because if you're a Salvadorian, then we gotta watch each other's backs because we know it, because these motherfuckers are gonna target you if you're a Salvadorian. You know, that's the only reason motherfuckers joined that shit. Because other people were trying to fuck them up. Because of Mexicans and because of black motherfuckers. You know what I mean? That's the truth. And that's how MS was created. But they learned, because there was no gangs in El Salvador. There was political factions. There was political factions and fighters. Rebels and guerrillas and shit. You know what I mean? But there wasn't gangs. It wasn't like fucking United States gang culture with, you know, all this bullshit. You know what I mean? It was war over there. It was political over there. Here it's like a culture within it's like a subculture of heathens. You know what I mean? And drugs and extortion and prostitution and all this shit and money. You know what I mean? And all that crap. And notoriety. Right? That's what it was here. And that's what it is here. That's where they learned here. But then when they started getting killed by blacks or by Mexicans because they were Salvadorian, then that's when they learned that they had to stick together, because they were only gonna survive if they stick together and have their own backs. You know what I mean? Because they're not that many people comparatively to Mexicans or blacks. Right? They're still a minority within that minority. So then they started ganging up on they started hanging out with each other, but when they started getting these turf wars, these gang wars, they would shoot and kill a Salvadorian, but a Salvadorian wouldn't fucking go shoot and kill them. Not all the time exactly. They started fighting back in the only way which they knew, which was the shit that they saw during the Civil War. And they went and found these niggas and cut them the fuck up. Hanged them and shit, like fucking machetazos, nigga. Fucking machete them. Machetes. And hunted them down like that. Guerrilla war tactic style. On foot. You know what I mean? So, when they did that shit, that got them their notoriety. Because they weren't just hopping out of a car and shooting some motherfucker and then dirting off. They weren't doing drive-bys. No, they were waiting till they found you in your motherfucking house. Then they tied your ass up. And they fucking cut your shit up. You know what I mean? Up close and personal. So that's what they did. And that's why they called it, that it was one of the most notorious gangs and shit. And they loved it. Because now that's the shit that y'all like. Because y'all like that shit. Y'all like violence. Y'all like that bullshit. Y'all like gang notoriety. Y'all like street fame. Y'all like gangster music. Y'all like that shit. So these niggas did that shit even fucking more than you fucking liked, huh? So that shit wasn't cute anymore, huh? Them niggas ran the streets. Then the only people that fucking stopped them were not the Bloods, the Crips, or the fucking Mexican Mafia. It was the fucking biker gangs, ex-army soldier dogs of the United States. Ex-veterans. I mean, biker gangs. You know what I mean? Those were the motherfuckers that came and stopped those niggas. You know what I mean? And held them back. You know what I mean? Because they were getting out of control. I watched a documentary on this shit. So you understand what I'm saying? So the point is that was, and then obviously, I don't know, they made some type of agreement, you know what I mean? And then the Mexicans, but like, it was not every Salvadorian involved in that shit, you know, obviously, but it was like some shit. Then, you know, some people, what's the word? Gang unification, organized crime, all that shit started fucking becoming a thing, you know, and people they all started thinking, hey, it's better to just help each other out than, you know, becoming this big problem. You know what I mean? So it was like they wanted to, you know what I'm saying, make money. They didn't want no. It was getting sloppy for business. You know what I mean? That's probably why the only reason why Whitey got inside of it too. Whitey got involved because it was bad for their business. All these motherfucking killings and shit. Too much heat. You know what I mean? And so that's what they did. And so, but later, ironically enough, you know what I mean? That's, you know, it's really fucked up. So like when I look at these motherfuckers, when I think about gangs from El Salvador, what I think about is that these people were brainwashed by the devil to do evil shit. You know what I mean? And they really, war changes people, things change people, but y'all don't look at the shit that we have to go through. Like I said, like, what were they supposed to do? Get killed and raped and robbed by motherfucking Mexicans and niggas? I mean, hell nah. Fuck that shit. I mean, fuck that. So that's what you should understand. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's not like they came here and they were received with good reception and, you know, able to change their lives. No, they landed from one war zone into another war zone. You know what I mean? In the fucking streets of the United States. Right? So remember that shit, you racist fucks. Okay, so you know, before y'all start talking shit about whatever, I mean, and then even when they got deported from here, you know, Trump, punk ass, doesn't want to stop every other gang, but he always wants to stop Central American gangs and shit, right? But he doesn't give a fuck about KKK or the Proud Boys or the homegrown terrorists, Dylan Roof or any other of these motherfuckers, or these black motherfucking 21 Savage that he freed, fucking piece of shit motherfucker, all these other fucking gangs that are pieces of shit, and gang members and terrorists that make terrorist music that you know, to terrorize your communities and shit, and to brainwash your kids to become more violent. You know what I mean? He doesn't give a shit. He freed that motherfucker. He freed that demon known as 21 Savage. You know what I mean? And you know, and all of that contributing to your fucking hedonism and your, you know, dehumanizing society, degradation, you know, endangering more fucking kids, right? So, you know, he obviously doesn't believe in God, but he'll say something about Central American gangs, and he'll get y'all like, oh yeah, sure, like we're on the same page with that, huh? Very bullshit, you know. There's a lot of bullshit. It's a hypocrite. You know what I mean? So, what was I gonna say, right? So anyway, you know, I also mentioned how, like, on that, I got on a tangent, guys. My bad. I know y'all don't want to hear this shit. I know y'all just want to see some gameplay, but nobody listens to this shit anyway. You know, but at the end of the day, that's a lot of knowledge. I know. Look, I hope you're 21 if you're watching this, and if you're not, then, you know, if I traumatize you, I'm just playing. It's not nothing to worry about. Nobody's traumatized because nobody's listening. Good, okay. But nobody ever listens to truth anyway. Kind of felt bad there for a second. I guess the final thing I gotta say about all that shit is that that, you know, I wasn't given, like, well, I don't know how to say that. You know, I'll put the world in its place before it puts me in mine. You know, when I was a kid, you know, I got framed by police. They said that I was part of that MS shit. They said I was selling drugs for syndicates. They tried to get me involved with other crimes that were happening in the area. And I was like, I don't know these people. They're like, no, they're your family. They're your friends. I'm like, no, they're not. And I don't know these people. You know what I mean? I really didn't. And, you know, they're trying to get me caught up in shit. You know what I mean? And then trying to make me churn for them. you know what I mean, and all that bullshit. But I remember that was the first experience with a cop, you know what I mean, and these cops were trying to get me to self-incriminate me, trying to pressure me, trying to get me to snitch. Because if you don't know, cops don't really do that much investigating work, and so they get guys to they try to break individuals, you know, so they choose people that they think they think they're willing to turn into a snitch. Just remember that, because you fuckers forget what real oppression looks like. Y'all forget. Y'all never seen The Wire or some shit. You know what I mean? Y'all never seen no motherfucking crooked cops or police videos and shit. And y'all actually believe that racism doesn't exist and that police brutality is not a real thing. And you don't think these fucking dudes are pigs that, you know, that fucking lie and shit and get and take people's rights away. And I'm more of American than some of these white Republican motherfuckers, than some of these white people that lived here. You know, I'm more American than them because they don't even believe in the Constitution no more. You understand what I'm saying? I'm more American than Donald Trump. So are the people that turned their back on him, which is why he's facing 91 fucking felonies, because his fucking own people that he tried to make them go go back on the oath that they swore. You know what I mean, when they became who they were, you know, working for the government, you know, they swore an oath, and Trump wanted them to disregard the oath that they swore. You know what I mean, and wanted them to bypass shit and to get him reelected. You know what I mean, he was trying to get votes, trying to racketeer. You know what I mean, racketeer voting and shit, and all this other shit. But you see, just like those people believed in the Constitution more than they did in Donald Trump, he didn't understand that. He didn't understand why people weren't helping him get reelected. Well, you're about to understand that some motherfuckers actually believe in America. They believe in the Constitution. They believe in God. You know what I mean? And they're not just here just to try to, you know, clout chase and try to make a mockery of all of that. So you're going to find out. So rant over. Okay, rant over. Damn. Yo, that doesn't get me kicked off. I don't know what will. You know, I might have to get my faith back on Twitch. No, I mean that'll make sense. That'll make sense. You know, y'all dumb motherfuckers. Y'all got so used to looking at Ellen every fucking afternoon. You forgot that she was a crazy dyke pervert, right? Dumb motherfuckers. That's what I hate, bro. That's what I hate about these dumb motherfuckers, bro. You know what I mean? Slowly but surely, that's the reason why I started appropriating gay people and shit. Now those fucking weirdos are trying to talk to your kids about self-mutilating themselves. You what I mean, and living shorter life expectancies, while they are not gonna do the shit. They're not gonna do that. You know, the fucking rich people. You know, the richest motherfuckers, most privileged elitists. They're not gonna do that. You dumb fucks, fucking idiots. They ain't fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Like, think about that. Think about the richest people in the world. Do you think that they're gonna be stupid enough to not live a full life while, you know what I'm saying, and doing stupid shit? I mean, hell no, because they want time to blow their money. I mean, they want to live their good lives. You know what I mean? And they got all you dumb motherfuckers living your fast, stupid, crazy lives. You know what I mean? And fucking just to get to an early grave, while them motherfuckers live 3 of your lifetimes. I mean, shit. They live twice as long as you do. I mean, they try to anyway. But, you know, yeah. And you know, look, I know a lot of people are gonna try to put you down because you drink, because this is a lot to process. You know, this didn't come easy. I didn't have the balls to say this shit, you know, without fucking losing my cool. When I was younger, I had to drink a lot before I got to this point. You know what I mean? But now I'm immune to it, you know, because it does suck. But you shouldn't do drugs, you know. Nobody should do drugs. But drinking, first of all, is bad. Although, if you keep it classy, a brandy or a cognac or a little whiskey, or you know what I mean, every now and then tequila maybe wouldn't hurt. You know, like a little one every evening. You know what I'm saying? Or when you get off of work, you feel me? Like one glass. You know what I'm saying? After a long day's work. That's not gonna hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? After a full day's work though. But like if you're like waking up drinking every day and not working, that's a problem. Or if you're getting blackout wasted, you know, that's a problem. Or if you're like, you know, just hanging out with people that are not doing shit with their lives except that, that's a problem. You know what I mean? But you know what's worse than that? Cheating and being a whore. So don't feel too bad about yourselves. Because these whores, like, you know, every girl you know ever, you know what I mean? They actually fucking they have committed one of the 7 deadly sins. You know what I mean? And so them chicks are you know, not looking for. I mean, you can be a Catholic alcoholic, you can be a religious alcoholic. You know that exists. But there's rarely a time that you'll see a Christian whore. Actually, that's a lie. But she's not really a Christian. I mean, that's what I mean. She doesn't really believe in God. You know what I mean? And she would, if you were to choose which one to choose, she would choose feminism and to abort her babies and not feel bad about it, not repent at all. You know? So if women are not repenting for being whores, that has to be more evil than alcoholics who at least recognize that their lives are a mess. You know, because y'all never let us not know that, you know, that they're alcoholics. But y'all don't tell bitches anything. You know what I mean? Y'all don't tell whores anything. So what does that say? It means that even though you're an alcoholic, you still find God, even if it brings you shame. But if you're a whore, you get further away from God, and you don't even want to admit that there's a God, right? And so you don't want to hear nothing, you know. So just think about that, because it is said that sexual morality is one of the worst type of religion. I mean, type of sins, because it keeps you away from God. It keeps you further and further away from God. Like, you know what I mean? Because you find pleasure and sexual lust and all that stuff, fornication, and you get comfortable, you know what I mean? And that life, and the people that you hang around are also not going to bring you to God, and they're not going to care. And since it's not necessarily that debilitating to you, since it feels good, you don't really see a problem with it. You know what I mean? But like, you know, obviously it's wrong. I mean, and you don't know, and you don't want to act like you know. So it's like this, like a girl that fucks 100 guys. Y'all want to act like that's normal, but a dude who's drunk in the same amount of time as much as a woman has been a whore. You know what I mean? In his life, so as much as the first whore that he was supposed to be with was cheating and doing all that shit. That's how much he's drank. That's how long he's drank. You know what I mean? But y'all don't see, y'all try to treat him differently than the whore, you know? At least he can see the fucked up shit in his life. You know what I mean? Whereas a woman still can't. It's just double standard. You know what I mean? Hypocrisy at its finest. So remember that. Okay, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. This is what the Bible tells you about women, right? You should not listen to women. You should not pay attention to women. You should not even regard women as a necessity in your life. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't even lust after women. That means you shouldn't even look at women. You know what I mean? That's what the Bible says. You shouldn't even look at women. You shouldn't lust after them. You shouldn't because God knows our brains and God knows what we think about when we see women, and so we're not even meant to look at them, especially when they're dressing slutty, especially when they want to send you signals, you know, especially when they're trying to seduce you. Don't look at them. You know what I mean? That's what God tells us to do. That's what the Bible tells us to do. It's this thing that Hebrew people or the people there they taught each other to not look at each other, and the only way, this is a societal thing. This is like maybe this is what was the definition of stoicism. Maybe, you know, it's like in a society, the men are supposed to adhere to the Torah or to the Bashura, to the teachings of Yahusha and of Yahuwah, right? Of, you know, the teachings of the rabbis and everything. They're supposed to adhere to that, but and keep the commandments. But moreover, during life, when they're out and about, you know, when everywhere, you know, when you go out in public, you know what I mean? When you're out and about in society, you're supposed to keep that connection between men. You know what I mean? To stay on point. You know what I mean? And to remember what the order of things are here. You know what I mean? In other words, almost like bro code, but the real version. You know what I mean? Of like, you know, you're supposed to remember that you're your dad's son, and you're supposed to treat men with respect. They're the head of the house. We know, right? And we're supposed to stay away from women, and women tries to tempt us to party with them, to hang out with them, drink with them, to have sex with them. We're supposed to say no. And look at the old man. Remember what that old man told you. You know, remember, and keep your boys in check. Keep your homie in check. Be stoic. Keep yourselves away from sin, right? Look the other way. Turn the other way. When a woman tries to talk to you, turn the other way. Don't go to sin. If you see a girl half naked, horny, trying to talk to you, don't talk to her. She comes up to you because she's horny. Oh, she's horny. She wants to talk to you. You know what I mean? And it's a girl that you know, but she's acting different today. She wants to have sex. You're like, oh no, you know what I mean? Refuse, deny them. You know what I mean? And remember, you know what I mean? And do this, you know, and remember to always keep an eye out for your fellow men out there and make sure they don't degrade themselves into degeneracy. You know what I mean? And this is how you keep this is like stoicism, right? But it's your responsibility as a man in society to do this, because we expect women to become horny, but it's up to us to allow ourselves for them to have sex with us. You know what I mean? That's why I call these dudes fuck niggas and fuck boys, because they allow themselves to get fucked by these girls, right? Just because a girl's horny. You know what I mean? And a girl fucking cheats on her man, they don't care, because, you know what I mean? And we expect women to do this type of stuff, right? And whenever you're supposed to see sin, you run away from it. You know what I mean? And I mean, I'm not saying we always have to plan for the worst. So, and the Bible, that's what it says about women. You know, we're not even supposed to look at them. You know what I mean? Women are supposed to be given to a man or be married to the man that they choose, and from their family to their man. Like, what I mean to say is that the parents need to approve and give the blessing of the marriage. You know what I mean? And before, and so it's actually that's the custom, right? And it has so many customs. Like, for example, Hebrew people can't really get with somebody who are not the old days, they couldn't mate with people who were uncircumcised. They couldn't give their daughter to, well, at least they couldn't, because they had a covenant, right? They couldn't, with people that do not believe in their God, right? Or who don't follow the customs, because they had a covenant with God. You know what I mean? But moreover, in a society where things start to degrade themselves, that happened a lot of times. Like a lot of kings of Israel, a lot of kings that came and went. Some of them were good, some of them were bad. You know what I mean? And those who were bad did the same bad things. Idolatry, orgies, fornication, murder, strife, chaos, worshiping idols and stuff. So with girls, right, women are not supposed to be allowed to preach in a church unless they are trained specifically by the real doctrine of God, right? Unless they know the true teachings of God, because they like to use the church like their own little fashion show, and they like to get the money from the church and to use it for other reasons, for other means, right? They even go to say that women that are single mothers should not receive help from the church unless they're widows, and their widows had to be over the age of 60. In order to receive help, 60 or 50, in order to receive help from the church. But obviously, y'all help fucking 16-year-old girls that fucked up their lives. Y'all help 21-year-old single mothers that fucked up their lives. Y'all baby them too damn much. Back then they used to be 50 or 60 years old, to receive help and assistance. Here it's like, she's 18, man. She's 23. She's 30, man. Like, y'all act like she's an old woman. Like, if she can't fucking go out and get a job. You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous. To each their own, man. It's fucked. Because you see, like I said, these are things that people like that the Bible says about women. Basically, women are also evil. You know what I mean? And their punishment is that of having childbirth pains. You know what I mean? Also, they will also desire their husband. No, they won't desire their husband. What is it? They'll want their man to lead, but they won't get their desire. Their true desire will be not their desire, it'll be that of a husband. You see what I'm saying? You see, at the end of the day, that's why these bitches complaining, bro. They think they want their careers, and then sooner or later they're gonna be like, actually, I want a husband. You know what I mean? Actually, I'm kind of sad being alone and miserable. Yeah, and now you want a man, right? Like, what? Sooner or later you're gonna want your husband. You know what I mean? That's your fucking curse. The girl's greatest weakness, greatest weakness. You know what I mean? Is she wants a man. She needs a man. She desires to be a man. Unless, of course, she's a reprobate. And if you're all fucked up, you're all fucked up. I mean, you can deny that feeling and brainwash yourself into being gay or some shit, but yeah, guess what? I mean, deep down inside, you're lying to yourself. Like you gay people and you whores. You know what I mean? Y'all lying to yourselves. Y'all trying to hide something, and y'all just fucking lying to yourselves every day in and day out, to the point that y'all started believing your own fucking lies. You know what I mean? And you'll never admit that you're a liar because you forgot that you're a liar. because you probably lied to yourself about being a liar. You probably said that you're not a liar, but you are. You dance with the devil, it might last you forever. So always say no. You should know better. You know what I mean? When your mom told you what you were, your little baby shower probably, she was happy she was having a little girl. Never knew that her little girl would grow up to be a dyke, right? Or a hoe. Pretty sure that's not what she wanted. You knew better, but you lied to yourself. I mean, that's the truth. I don't know why. I don't know why. That is your shit. I don't give a fuck. But just don't expect me to fucking, you know what I mean, you know, don't be surprised when I don't want to fucking lie for you and say that, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, dude, that's just exactly how, you know, that makes perfect sense for you to go against your own biology and fucking, no, man, fucking idiots. You know, people like you are gonna give these people so much power. Look, if you want to be a fucking loser, you want to be motherfucking a slave to somebody, and you want to get slaughtered like cattle, that's you. Don't bring me into your bullshit, because I'll fight. I will fight. I will fight to the end. And I don't give a fuck. You submitted, you gave in, that's you. Don't expect me to fucking feel sympathy for you. Don't expect me to be the same way and be nice to you just because you gave up. I mean, and you gave in. I mean, hell no. I'll fight to the end. Capiche? Sure, man, because people, man, they be tripping, dog, on that bullshit, bruh. So anyway, they want you to be all fucked up in the game. If you got any comments, probably nobody's watching my stream. I got one viewer. Hey. Maybe it's a mod. I'm really trying to play this game, man. I don't know what the update. Damn, bro. It's messed up. But I mean, what else should I say? The only person that I want to vote. They said not to talk about politics or racism or anything. I mean, I don't have those rules on my channel. You know what I mean? I don't care what y'all say. I mean, but if you're gonna diss me, then I'm gonna send you to hell. I mean, but I really don't care if you have like an opinion, like about politics and stuff, because I'm not a loser. I'm not a fucking punk. You know what I mean? I have my own opinions. I mean, it is rude though. It is rude. I will admit it is rude to talk about politics, religion, all these things that we talk about is actually very, very rude, and it's very like, you shouldn't do it. It's a faux pas to society for you to do this. You know, you shouldn't talk to people about this stuff. It's personal. You know what I mean? Very opinionated. But since y'all want to let gay people talk about their own shit, since y'all want to let gay people everywhere, and y'all want to talk stuff about Christians, y'all want to talk crap about Christians and about Jesus and about Christianity, we got to give you the smoke. You know what I mean? We got to speak up for ourselves, because y'all keep trying to oppress us. So I mean, I'll say this: the Constitution was written by people who believed in God, and it should be ran. The country should be ran by people who believe in God. I mean, and I think that the only person that resembles sort of like somebody who still cares about the country, ironically enough, is probably Robert Kennedy. I mean, right now, at the at this moment, Robert Kennedy is actually a real politician. I mean, and he's a real American. I mean, and the America that I know. Donald Trump, that guy is not a real politician. I don't know why he wanted to fucking make a mockery. But when you say that Trump is one of the first presidents to ever get indicted and not in a criminal court, you know what I mean? I'm like, y'all act like he's a traditional president. I mean, he's not a traditional president. Okay, it's almost insane. It's a mockery of the whole democracy of this whole country. When you try to put him on the same level as other presidents, you know what I mean? You're making a mockery of everything. But like I said, he got 91 counts because he tried to obstruct justice, and he tried to obstruct the democratic process, and he tried to racketeer some votes, and the people that were with him that he was trying to coerce, or not coerce, but he was trying to kind of trying to coerce, but he was trying to corrupt, decided that they swore an oath, and you know that's not how things work. You know what I mean? That there's still some people that do believe in the Constitution and that do love this country and can believe in it more than they believe in you, sir. And so that's why he's facing 91 counts of felonies. I think actually it's more like 110 or 120 in 2 different states. You know what I mean? In Washington D.C. and in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta. So, you know. Yeah, he fucked up. You know, he fucked up. And he also targeted Americans, you know, and he also, I mean, he did that from the very beginning. You know, he divides this country. And so, imagine, like, there's this, one of his counts, right, is, you know, something he did, because it's like the whole case against him. It's historic. So, one of it is a woman who's a citizen whom he slandered on TV and on his things, and he ruined her life, you know, and all she was doing was trying to get the vote, you know, help the city votes, you know, the voting process. She was a volunteer to help with the voting during the pandemic, and he accused her of shit. So she got death threats, she got all type of shit. And she said something that I like really thought about. She said, imagine the president of the United States of America, you know what I mean, calling you out and going against you or coming after you, you know what I mean, and all over TV, all over the place, and slandering you. And I realized just how much Donald Trump did that, you know, use his power to come against U.S. citizens. She said, you know, the president is supposed to represent every citizen in the country, not come after them. And I realized again how polarizing Donald Trump was throughout his whole term. And I realized he never really cares about every citizen like he says he does. You know what I mean? You want to believe he does, but he doesn't know how to. So, you know, that was kind of fucked up. You know what I mean? Because, like she said, she got death threats or whatever. I'm like, you know, I don't really care. You know, like that's the thing. Like, man up, right? But then I saw footage again of January 6th, and I started thinking, like, that's what those guys were saying. They were saying man up. They were doing all this stuff, but they were really trying to hang Mike Pence. You know what I mean? Why? Because Donald Trump told him to, right? And Mike Pence was the vice president. So he threw Mike Pence under the bus because Mike Pence supposedly didn't want to take part of this fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? And that made me think too. Like Mike Pence says this, like he stood up for once, for once that the whole time he stood up against what Donald Trump said. You know, he put his foot down and was like, you know, like, no, we're not gonna take part. We're not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Because Donald Trump's going off the rails and shit. So she said for the one time that he put his foot down and he said no to Donald Trump immediately throws him under the bus and goes against him on everything. I mean, and tries to motherfucking, you know, put the mob against him. So it was like, holy shit, you know what I mean? And then Mike Pence was like, you know, he didn't leave the Capitol. He stayed there. And whereas Donald Trump didn't talk for 3 hours. Oh no, 187 minutes, right? That he didn't talk since he told him to do the mob to raid or whatever. He got them all fired up, and they marched and they were doing for 3 hours. Donald Trump didn't say shit. He could have called him off. He could have told him to stop. He could have told him. He didn't say nothing for 3 hours. And so Mike Pence was in the building, in the Capitol Hill building, right? And they were trying to evacuate him because he like Donald Trump had put everybody against him. So they were looking for him and they were trying to find him and hang him. You know what I'm saying? Mike Pence actually, he didn't leave. Even though the Secret Service and everybody was like, we needed to evacuate you. He didn't leave. He stayed there. And he tried to provide some order, some calmness, you know, and some order to the whole thing. When Donald Trump wasn't controlling shit. He wasn't saying anything for 3 hours. So Mike Pence had to step in and had to keep the cool, keep the order, keep the peace or whatever, keep calm and shit in those situations. So that really showed, you know, how the fuck, you know, Trump had, like, you know, really fucked up. And only after the he didn't say anything as well for 3 hours. He wanted to go back and forth. I don't know. He kept going, and he was being unreasonable. Then when the people started getting apprehended by the police, law enforcement, then that's when Trump was like, oh, like, you know, the police got him under control now. They seized control. They seized back control of the building. Only then did Donald Trump come back and say, you know what I mean, like, oh, we should keep the peace. You know what I mean? Only after he saw that the law enforcement had subdued the mob, they had controlled and taken back control. I mean, only then did he come back out and say something. You know what I mean? As to say that he was watching, he was trying to see if he could get away with it. If he could actually, if his people were actually going to do it, if he was going to win. You know what I mean? So then, right, Donald Trump was like, he came back and he said, oh, I want to go to the garden of the White House or whatever and do it there. And then he made that speech where he said, after 187 minutes, he said, you know, he told them what he said. He said, I feel your pain. I know how you feel. We were robbed of an election. But right now it's not the time for this. We have to keep the peace. We have to keep the peace. We have to go back. So I tell you to go back to your homes. I mean, and you know, each one of you is special. Each one of you is like all this shit, right? And he told him, like, you know, he didn't even apologize for what he's doing. He was saying that wasn't a man. They said that wasn't a man that was apologizing for what he did. That was a man who wasn't apologizing for what he did. You know what I mean? And it really showed, bro. It really showed how that motherfucker threw Mike Pence right in the motherfucking gallows. He was trying to fucking get rid of his own vice president, my nigga. And y'all want to vote for that man again? You know what I mean? Shit, even Vivek is fucking kind of a little stupid right now, you know? That motherfucker, I thought he was smart. That motherfucker's stupid as shit too. He gonna make you walk the gallows, Vivek. You dumb motherfucker. You know what I mean? Shit, I thought you was a smart motherfucker. And you know, but that's what he said, right? That's what he did on January 6th. So that's probably the worst things, and people died. You know, that's why it's like people died in that shit, and he didn't even feel sorry for it. You know what I mean? He didn't even feel sorry, like he didn't cause the shit to happen in the first place. I mean, like if he couldn't have stopped it or something, he's the one that gathered everybody there. He told people to get there. He said it was gonna be wild. That wild enough for you, sir? That shit is crazy. You know what I mean? Playing with American citizens' lives like that, my nigga. You know, he didn't need the military. He had his own personal army, the militia. You know what I mean? That nigga was trying to get the militia riled up. You feel me? Dang. Yeah, man. So I was reading all of that. I mean, I was looking at that and I was like astonished that, like, you know, on some levels, how much faith people have in Donald Trump. And then when I see what he did, I'm like, bruh, like, how could you trust this guy? I mean, how did you trust this guy? How did I even fucking think plausibly for a second that he might be doing, you know, good against the devil? You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute. That might have just been your prayers. You know what I mean? That might have just been your prayers, America, that made you think that he could do that shit. That he was doing stuff against the devil. But you know what? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he might have been doing. God might have been working through him. But come on, I'm not gonna go and say that Donald Trump is like that big a man of God. You know what I mean? Because he's not. That'd be a lie. There's barely any people in celebrity world, entertainment world, or industry that are with God, you know, that come out, you know, as being believers, that even know God's name. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm trying to think of one right now. Like, who do I know is a real believer, you know, of God? Some people will say Mark Wahlberg, but no, that guy's with the Hollywood Jesus. I would say, I mean, who, right? Who's really with it? You know what I mean? You know, ironically enough, the people that I think that might have been with it are not they are not perfect people. You know what I mean? You know, they're people who you wouldn't suspect. You know, such as Chester Bennington. I mean, the Chester Bennington, he allegedly killed himself. You know, and but I don't know if he did. You know, and still, I think there's a conspiracy to be had around that thing as well. But he said, you know, but he, I think, believed in God. I'm pretty sure he did. Linkin Park in general, right? But people wouldn't suspect that band, rock band or whatever, because they never said they were Christian, but they were influential. I mean, anyway, who else? Like, it's people that you wouldn't expect, I think, to be it. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. Because of people, and that's a thing. That's a theme that you have to understand. That's why I don't get along with a certain, you know, religious groups, because they're hypocritical. They like to talk things about me, but I know real life. You know, I don't put down others like you do. I don't say, oh, you're just a bunch of drunks and you're going to hell. You know what I mean? Like you do. You know what I mean? I don't just sit idly by while people destroy their lives on the streets. I mean, and then call myself a Christian, like if I helped everybody. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's this theme that goes on in the book, in the Bible, about women, about people who are not like good Christians. They're not. Their lives are not perfect. You know, Moses had anxiety. He was probably really, upset. Job. But people were not perfect. I mean, let me just say that. People weren't perfect. Except Jesus. Except Yahushua. Yahushua. So yeah. You know what I mean? But you see, even Yahushua, supposedly, they said that there's like 18 years that they don't have in the Bible. What happened those 18 years? Well, the Europeans think that he went to Europe. The Africans think he went to Africa. The Asians think he went to Asia. The Indians think he went to India. Like everybody says that he went somewhere. I mean, during that time, because like there is a point of his life where it's not accounted for. I mean, so 18 years. But when he reappears back in was it Nazareth, right? He was living at his mom's house. You know what I mean? And he was living at his mom's, and he was still obeying his mom. You know what I mean? And he's still obeying and loving and his mother. You know what I mean? Just so you understand that, because you see all these women, all these snakes that tell you, oh, you still live with your moms and stuff. Yeah. My brother is more of a Christian than any of you people will ever be. I mean, not playing. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he still lived at his mom's house. He still, it wasn't because he didn't have a place to go, obviously. It was because it was a cultural thing. I mean, it's a cultural thing. So he was 33. You know what I mean? When he started his ministry, that means he was at least 30 years old, 31, 32 maybe, living at his mom's, for a while there. You know what I mean? So just so you understand, whenever you hear somebody talk mess about you because you respect and you listen to your mom and you want to help her and you love her and you want to help her out and stuff, and you still live at her house or something, you know what I mean? Jesus did too when he was 33. I mean 32 or whatnot. It's a cultural thing. People in India still do that. People in other countries still do that. You know what I mean? It's just here in this Western world where they want you to move out. They want you to do all this other stuff. I mean, which is great. I mean, good. If y'all weren't a bunch of racists that would stop me from getting, a good education, good job. They don't want me to live in hell, like on the streets. We already know what's there, nothing. Not for me. Because this place is not meant for people that look like me, right? It wasn't ran and designed for people that look like me. Now it's a little bit better, you know what I mean? Because it's adjusting. But if I would have been in the streets when I was 16, 17, I probably wouldn't be here right now. I'd probably be dead, to be honest. Or I'd probably be dead, or I'd probably be in jail for like a long time. And I'm not even joking. I'm not exaggerating. When I think about that, like at that time and how much I've changed, I literally would have seen no other way to get through life, without hurting somebody or without, getting in some shit. Like I was psychotic. Psychotic. And knowing how many violations there are in the street, yeah, people would have gotten snuffed. Oh shit.